J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Doing another episode of J-Bone's Jacked Up Jukebox. We are doing episode number 2. It's going to feature some news about new music from Lillian Axe, which is a new single, some new tours going on this summer, and some long-awaited news about I've heard it's going to be on Netflix, from what I've heard. The long-awaited movie tied to the book The Dirt from the band Motley Crue. So, but we're going to start out on a bit of a solemn note. We are going to talk about the unfortunate loss, 2 drummers that we have lost recently. So we're going to do what we did last time. We are going to light a candle for these guys. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. There we go. So we cracked the cold one. And all right, let's talk about these guys a little. Ex-Kicks drummer Donnie Spence recently passed away a few days ago at the age of 64. Very sad, and from what it says here in the article, this is courtesy of sleazerocks.com. They have the obituary. Excuse me. And a little bit of information here states that he played with the band in the way early years, when in Kicks from 77 to 79. So right before they were started becoming a mainstream sensation. But it says here that he was a well-known drummer for 50 years in many local bands. And if you want to read the entire obituary, it's found in this article on sleazerocks.com. So thoughts and prayers go out to the family, friends, and fans of Donnie. So yeah, very sad, very sad. Also going to talk about another drummer. It's interesting, 2 drummers. Passing away at the age of 69, former Judas Priest drummer Dave Holland. Kind of strange. This came from a Spanish newspaper, and this all came after he passed away, and he'd already been cremated, so they don't even have a cause of death. Now, I don't know if something's been released since, some last-minute thing that I've missed on another website, but he did play on several popular Judas Priest releases for 10 years, from 79 to 89, on British Steel, Point of Entry, Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, Turbo, and Ram It Down, and then being replaced by Scott Travis. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and fans of his as well. So we have the candle lit. We say cheers. And we now have a moment of silence for both these men. thank you for sharing that moment of silence with me. Now, let's get into some news. Let's talk about a band that I had not heard of for quite a while. In fact, they've had some lineup changes that I was not aware of. I guess they've got a new lead singer. And so, yeah, I'm not going to get into too much of the lineup, but, yeah, I need to brush up on these guys. But they released a new single called The Weeping Moon. Now, I listened to it on YouTube. If you look it up on, you type in Lillian X Topic. It was released through YouTube, but it's also on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, and Google Play, if you want to further support the band that way. And it's The Weeping Moon will appear on Lillian X's 14th album, From the Womb to Tomb, tentatively due out this fall. 14th album. Wow. I have obviously missed a few releases in there because, I mean, I'm familiar with some of their stuff in the 80s and early 90s, and then I didn't hear about them for a while. I'm guessing they disbanded and then got back together. But from what I've heard, I think they've got a new lead singer. But this stuff sounds great. It sounds like, to me, it sounds like something that would have been released off the band's, what is the last one that I listened to from way back? It's like 91, no, like 92 or 93, Psychoschizophrenia. Very good release. But this is, this singer sounds great. The guitar sounds great. Most of it's like an acoustic ballad. It sounds like classic Lillian X. You know, there's nothing weird or, you know, alternative about it. Like some bands, you know, they try to, you know, they change their sound over the years. No, it sounds like the classic stuff from 20, 30 years ago. So, you know, but it sounds new and fresh at the same time. So yeah, go check it out. The Weeping Moon, new single from, excuse me, Lillian X. Yeah, need to check out more of their stuff. All right, new tours. New tours have recently released. This first one we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about two tours. This first one is Slayer. It's a bummer, the news that came along with this one. They are making their exit with one final world tour. Now, we don't have any date or length of how long this final tour is going to be. But this article, courtesy of blabbermouth.net, says they released a video announcing the tour. Go to their YouTube page. It's confirmed they will hit the road from North America this summer with support from Lamb of God, Anthrax, Testament, and Behemoth. Wow, that's a big lineup. The only one on that list that I don't know is Behemoth. The rest I do. The run of dates is expected to be officially announced later this week. So very shortly we'll know how long at least a first leg of the tour is going to go. Who knows? But they've been around for what says here 35 years. That's a long time for a heavy metal band. It really is. So, yeah, I'm very curious to go check this out, you know. I've seen Anthrax before, but that's it, you know. I've seen a lot more hard rock than heavy metal in my lifetime. But, yeah, this is one I'm probably going to have to check out. Hopefully it's their bigger venues, you know, so it gives a chance for more fans to go see them on this last run. Nothing about final releases, but who knows? You never know. So, excuse me. So yeah, more news about that coming out soon, I guess. Another tour recently announced. In fact, in a local date that I was very pleasantly surprised to hear about was a co-headlining tour for Def Leppard and Journey. That's right, folks, for this summer, including Summerfest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, July 4th. Super stoked about that one. We'll see if we can't swing that one. I've seen Def Leppard before, never seen Journey before. Would love to see them. Now, some news about Motley Crue. Netflix movie The Dirt is got a couple different articles here picking different things from. One from sleazerox.com, the other from Blabbermouth. Tommy Lee announces that Motley Crue's The Dirt movie shooting will start in February and that the movie is in pre-production right now. That is music that has been a long time coming. They were hoping to have this out in 2016 following their final tour in 2015. And, yeah, you know, I don't know what's held it up. You know, I don't think it'd be money issues, but obviously, who knows? I mean, these guys are worth several billion each, I think. Especially after that last tour. My goodness. These guys are set for life. But the only one touring at the moment, from what I've heard, is Vince. So, but anyways, back to the movie news. The other thing that I was excited about as far as the pre-production, we have the news on who. This is another big question that went along with, you know, when's the movie coming out, is obviously who's going to play the band. That's what a lot of fans, including me, wanted to know. There were some rumors over the years like, oh God, I don't remember who. But anyways, so this is news. Well, it's reported on blabbermouth.net, but it says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Game of Thrones actor Ewan, I'm going to screw up this name, so I apologize. Ewan Rion? If you watch the Game of Thrones, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I haven't for several years, but and the Punisher actor, that one I was recently watching, Daniel Weber, are in negotiations to star as Motley Crue's guitarist Mick Mars and frontman Vince Neil, respectively, in the film adaptation of the group's biography, The Dirt, Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band. One funny thing about Daniel Weber that I just saw on the IMDb, this is funny. You scroll down his IMDb.com page, and it says, trademark, often plays young, troubled characters. That's funny. And the reason why that's funny is because about the most troubling role in his life that he's going to play is probably Vince Neil of Motley Crue. That's about as troubled as it gets, folks. Knowing their past. Last week, Crue bassist Nikki Sixx tweeted that Douglas Booth will play him. And Variety reported that Tommy Lee will be portrayed by rapper Machine Gun Kelly. Now, if you look at these guys, they all look, I would say, similar to what the band looked like when they were young. I wouldn't say identical, but, you know, you obviously don't want to just pick some average kid that looks like Tommy Lee or Vince or whatever. I was going to say, if anybody looks the closest, in my opinion, I would say, looking at the tallness and the lankiness of Tommy Lee, Machine Gun Kelly is spot on, honestly. Now, apparently he has some acting history. He was in some series this last year on Showtime, I think I heard. I'll have to look into it. I've heard some of his rapping. I have not seen his acting. And I'm not going to, like, you know, comment on it because I've never seen it. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, he's a rapper, he can't act. No, I don't know. Maybe he is a very good actor. I don't know. But as far as looks, tattoos and stuff, boom, you got that. So, very cool to see that the ball is finally rolling on this. And I'll be keeping a close eye on this. This is something that I have personally been waiting for a long time. Huge Motley Crue fan. Hence the huge banner that has been put up on my wall that I finally put up a few years after their final tour. Finally have a spot for it. So yeah, very excited about this news. And yeah, and some unfortunate, sad news that came along with this as well. You know, seems like we're always losing heroes, but hey, you know, that's part of life, unfortunately. So that's gonna wrap up this episode of JAYBONE'S Jacked Up Jukebox right here on Smash This Podcast. I'm JAYBONE. If you dig the content, give the video a like, give the channel a sub, share it with your friends, and we'll see you down the road for the next one. Thanks for watching.